Telements, Dragon Link and Lightsworn are all three decks that have performed well in the past by using huge graveyard combos in order to make a crazy final end board. As we know, Telements and Dragon Link have both been banned, but Lightsworn is still up and running and still has some pretty overpowered cards that if you combine different packages such as a Horus package or a Centurion package with, you can get a pretty amazing deck. Let me just get straight into the deck profile. We play 1 Punishment Dragon because he allows us to recycle most of our cards, 3 Imseti because it will allow us to send a Happy to the grave by searching a King's Sarcophagus and allowing us to draw one. Most of your cards have graveyard effects, so sending cards to the grave isn't an issue here. Being able to send those 2 level 8s into the grave lets us go into a Zombie Vampire, which lets us send more cards to the grave, because as you know, that's what the Lightsworn cards are primarily trying to do. We play 1 Gargoyle as a part of our Centurion package, 3 Malicious in order to go into a Chaos Angel. We play 3 Wolf, easily special summonable, 2 Corridor in order to go into our Colossus. 3 Primera is your starter card for your Centurion combo, that and the 3 Field spell, hence playing the 1 Trudea. You play Medora in order to help recycle back your Lightsworn cards. Punishment Dragon recycles back every non-Lightsworn card, so we need a way to shuffle back some Lightsworn cards too, which the Medora and we play Keldo can do. When they banish themselves, they'll shuffle 3 cards back, which means that Punishment Dragon can then shuffle back the Medora and the Keldo once they are banished, in order to basically have an infinite recycle of materials. We then play 3 Lightsworn. Dragon Link is probably your best Lightsworn card when paired with Weiss. 2 Felis, level 4 tuner, not much more needed to be said. We don't play 3 because it can only special summon itself when sent by a monster effect, which means using cards like Charge of the Light Brigade won't work too well with just Felis. 2 Solar Recharge, but 3 Charge of the Light Brigade, insane card. I'm surprised this card isn't limited to once per turn or even banned. Send the top 3 cards of your deck to the graveyard and add a level 4 or lower Lightsworn monster from your deck to your hand. We play 1 Wake Up Centurion, 2 King's Sarcophagus, 3 Stand-Up Centurion and 1 Phalanx. This is all pretty standard for those other cards. Help your combo. Stand-Up Centurion is probably one card that you want to have in your starting hand. A very strong card, will allow you to go into your Centurion combo and guarantee a Calamity Lock. Moving on to the extra deck, we play Colossus, a Cosmic Blazer Dragon, a very strong Omni Negate that we can almost always go into. Hot Red Dragon, Archfiend, King Calamity. That's quite a mouthful, but he basically lets us skip our opponent's whole turn. We play an Auxilia, we play a Crimson Dragon in order to go into our Calamity Lock and our other level 12s. Chaos Angel is makes all your Synchro monsters unaffected, and this deck plays a lot of Synchro monsters. Malicious helps you go into that, and we play a bunch of level 4 light monsters. We play a Minerva. It combos well with Punishment Dragon because you banish 4 in order to go into your Punishment Dragon. Zombie Vampire, a deck where you're playing a lot of level 8 cards that are easily accessible. You need a Zombie Vampire, especially when the whole premise of your deck is sending your cards to the graveyard. Because we can special summon so many level 8s, we also go into a Hope Harbinger, Minerva, Abyss Dweller. It's a graveyard dominated format. Having an Abyss Dweller or some form of graveyard removal is crazy powerful. Appaloosa, SP Little Knight and IP Masquerena, those are all pretty straightforward. The IP Masquerena is going to be used quite often to send your other cards to the graveyard. Let's say you go into a Zombie Vampire and you have a Punishment Dragon on the field, you can then use IP Masquerena to clear up your monster zones, because you're special summoning so much that you're not actually able to utilize your zones very well unless you link summon away most of your cards. Yeah, like I said, side deck, you put your blowout cards, Lava Golem, Selene, if it ever comes up you're going against Pearlies or something like that. Dark Ruler, straightforward. This deck's not that strong going up against trap decks, so triple Cosmic Cyclone, triple Twin Twisters is fine, and then triple Evenly Matched. That's really it. Knowing the deck list and knowing how to play the deck are 2 very different things, because Lightsworn is a very complicated deck. A lot of the cards that you send to the graveyard using the Lightsworn's effect aren't as simple as just special summoning and going into your boss monsters. You have to carefully plan out each route, and I'll show you just exactly how to do that in some test hands. The way you prioritize your hands going first is that you do the combos that have guaranteed outcomes, and then you use your more RNG type packages like the Horus package where you're sending cards to the graveyard using Zombie Vampire, or the Lightsworn package. So ideally you want to go into your Centurion package first. We'll do that by normal summoning Primera, activating Primera's effect in order to get a stand-up Centurion. We'll activate stand-up Centurion's effect in order to pitch a Malicious. We'll then put a Trudea in our fields, in our spell and trap zone. We'll special summon Trudea in order to put back into our spell and trap zone a Gargoyle. We'll then activate Gargoyle's effect in order to special summon itself, and we can then go into our Auxilla. We can then activate Auxilla's effect, activate Gargoyle's effect, and then we'll search any cards fine, but for this combo I'm going to search a Wake Up Centurion. The reason I do this is because I can get a free level 8 token on the field, and then I can banish it from the grave in order to put a Phalanx in my grave if I were to link away using Auxilla. What I'm going to do from here is I'm going to activate Charge of the Light Brigade, and I'm going to add a Wise. The reason I do this is because I can activate Wise's effect in order to put back the Dragonling and then send 2 from the top of my deck. I'll then activate Dragonling's effect in order to add a Punishment Dragon. What I can then do is use those 2 cards in order to go into a Crimson Dragon, and now what I can do is I can use the Crimson Dragon on my opponent's phase in order to go into the Calamity Lock, but instead what I'm going to do is use its effect to target our Auxilla in order to go into our Omni Negate, and on our opponent's turn we can special summon a Trudea, a Primera, because during our end phase we'll be able to put 1 back, and then go into our Calamity Lock like that. But I'll show you how to do that in just a second. We'll activate Mseti's effect in order to pitch a Gargoyle, and then we can add a King Sarcophagus and we can draw a card. I'll activate King Sarcophagus's effect in order to special summon a Mseti, and then I'll activate Sarcophagus's effect in order to send a Happy. We'll special summon Happy, and then we'll go into our Zombie Vampire. We'll activate Zombie Vampire's effect, pitching the Happy in order to send some more cards to the grave. We'll then special summon a Lightsworn Dragonling, activate Dragonling's effect in order to send some more cards to the grave. We'll send a Felis in order to go into our Minerva. If you're struggling to follow along, be sure to pause the video, slow it down. We can then send a Wolf and a Wise. We'll activate Wolf's effect. Don't activate the Wise's effect because we have no monster zones for it. We can go into our IP Masquerena, pitching the Auxilla and the Zombie Vampire. And here, let's just double check we have enough names. We've got a Dragonling, a Felis, a Wise, but we don't have a Wolf, so we'll need to send the Wolf to the grave somehow. The way we do this is we use Malicious's effect in order to special summon a Malicious, and then go into a Chaos Angel. Now we have 4 names in the grave. We can activate Minerva's effect, banish Wolf, Wise, Felis, and Dragonling in order to send some more to the grave. Yeah, it's pretty insane. You end up sending almost your whole deck to the graveyard. We'll special summon another Wolf, and here you can activate Malicious's effect in the grave in order to special summon another one. You could go into a second Chaos Angel, but in this case I'm gonna go into an Appaloosa, Bow of the Goddess. We have 3 monster negates, an Omni negate, and our synchro monsters are unaffected. Even this as an end board would be good enough, but we don't settle for good enough on this channel, so I'm going to show you how you can extend these plays even further. We can special summon a Punishment Dragon, we can banish a Phalanx in order to bring back our Auxilla, and we can then banish a Keldo in order to shuffle back some of our Lightsworn cards. So we'll shuffle back a Wise, a Dragonling, and a Beast. What we can then do is we can activate Punishment Dragon's effect in order to shuffle back pretty much everything. Now unfortunately what this means is we won't get our Calamity Lock, because in order to get our Calamity Lock we would have needed a Primera in the grave. So you can choose instead to have not activated the effect, just gone into Hope Harbinger and then get our Primera. We would then have to wait for our opponent to activate an effect, use the Blazar Dragon in order to banish itself. We'll have 2 zones clear, Tridea Special Summon, Primera Special Summon in order to go into a Crimson Dragon, which will then allow us to get our Calamity Lock. But I just wanted to explain to you that even without the Calamity Lock, this deck can put up a crazy board. We have an Omni Negate, 3 Monster Negates and a Spell Negate, just that alone. We also have a Chaos Angel which protects our Cosmic Blazer and our Auxilia. Our Auxilia protects our King Sarcophagus, a Tridea and a Stand-Up Centurion, so no matter what we draw in the next go, we can then activate Sarcophagus's effect in order to get back one of our Horus monsters for follow-up. Truly the combinations are limitless. Having the RNG makes the deck so fun, so I definitely recommend checking it out. The combos are very easy to learn. Once you learn one combo, it's pretty easy to learn the rest. If you guys enjoyed today's video, make sure you guys leave a like on the video, comment down below and drop a subscribe. If you're interested in decks like this, be sure to go ahead and check out my last video that I uploaded, which was the best going second deck in all of Yu-Gi-Oh!